I could die tomorrow, and if that was the last piece of art that I left on this planet, I would be very happy. I was I think one of the last artists to kind of get scooped up for this year's lineup, and I'm so thrilled to be here and to be thought of. But the stars aligned, and I'm here, so yay. It has been a labor of love, to say the absolute least. I think I had this whole record written. The last song was finished in January of 2019. So like the behind the scenes part of things and the suits of the business really slowed down the release of this record. I'll just say that. But I took control back, and I'm very excited that it's going to be out there very soon. It was independent. My last record came out in 2018 on Strawberry Moon Records, and I started riding the wave and different management, like I said, the behind the scenes of the music business can get pretty gnarly. And so I just got roped into lots of different things for a while. And the fate of this record was held in a few different people's hands. And ultimately, I decided that maintaining my independent status was the way that I should go. So Sam and I got connected through mutual management at one point, and Sam was 22 at the time, I was 24, and we just went into the studio, and it was just the most fun that I had ever had in music. It was, he kind of stepped in and like a puzzle piece and was like the perfect bass player, keyboard, organ player, and we just started vamping on some of the songs, and we're just kind of messing around, and it was very clear that it was a very organic, joyful experience. And so we decided to do the record basically together, and it was a really fun project. Over the years leading up to recording The Prize, I'd met with lots of different producers, some really well-known kind of older men whom I love and respect, and that would have been, I'm sure, a fantastic version of The Prize. But I was really looking for someone who was going to dig in and be very really invested alongside me. And I think the youthful side of Sam, and he's part of a band, so he brought this band energy back into my world, because I started out as the Steppin' Stones when I was a young girl, and then I went and dated my drummers and fucked some shit up, and so it became Hannah Wicklund and the Steppin' Stones. And then after years of my career just starting building upon itself, it became very clear that Hannah Wicklund was what this project is meant to be. But Sam and Daniel coming into the studio and coming into the picture with this record made me feel like I was in a band again. And so that's the energy that was brought to the record, which is what I think makes it stand out from my previous albums, and just makes it extra rock and roll. I love this album so much. I tell people I could die tomorrow, and if that was the last piece of art that I left on this planet, I would be very happy. So the record as a whole I'm very proud of. But I think the title track, The Prize, that was the last song that I wrote for this record, and it is definitely lyrically, I think, the most profound that I've ever written. It was very introspective, and really uncovered some of those sticky spots inside. That's I got to start healing some of those inner child wounds. And so I think that this album is just very near and dear to me on a personal level. My mom's an artist, and my last record, my mom did the artwork for it. And when I was 12, 14, 17, putting out my EPs and records back then, I was doing all of the artwork for it. And so with The Prize kind of coming full circle, this record is about passing the baton from girlhood to womanhood, and embracing my femininity, and just it seemed very natural, and it seemed like I should 100% be doing all of the artwork again for this album, and basically take all the different pieces of myself and of my art and start combining it for one purpose. So with this record, it's been really fun. I've done like a very large scale painting so far I have 5 paintings completed. I'd love to get a painting for each song, but I at least have all of the singles and the album artwork completed, and it's all taking place in this world that I've built in a castle floating on a cloud, which is a mural that my mom had painted over my bed when I was born. So not ironically, but it wasn't like I intended for the album cover to be that, but I had started creating this world inside of a castle and on these castle grounds, and Sam and I were out having dinner, and I was like, man, I really want to figure out how to zoom out and get the full picture of the prize, but I don't know what the album cover should be. I knew what the different paintings were kind of going for, but I didn't know what to do, and he goes, why don't you zoom out and have the castle floating on a cloud? And I was like, wow, that is wild, because he had no idea, and I had totally forgotten about this mural that my mom had painted, but it was above my bed until I was 12 years old and went through my lime green phase and had my dad paint over it, which broke my mom's heart. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm very sorry. But yeah, so it's a very full circle. The artwork on this record means a whole lot to me. Oh, it's been fantastic. Last year we were through Canada and had 2 shows in the States, and it wasn't my first time playing in an arena like ever, but it was my first time doing an arena tour, and it's pretty special getting to go out on that stage and see the vastness that is that crowd, and they're lovely, raucous bunch of people that love their music. So it was a fun time. Fantastic. Marcus and his whole crew are just some of the best people. We did like 3 or 4 months of touring together last year, so I got to know them pretty well, and we did some fun covers. We did some Barracuda by heart most nights, and we did a little bit of CSNY here and there. So yeah, he's fantastic, a fellow South Carolinian.